Welcome back, true crime enthusiasts. Today, we delve into the sinister world of the Rizzuto family, a crime syndicate that ruled the Canadian underworld with an iron fist. From their roots in Sicily to their reign as the most ruthless mob in Canada, this gripping tale of power, betrayal, and bloodshed will leave you on the edge of your seat. Get ready for a chilling true crime story that proves reality can be more captivating than any fiction. Let's dive in. The roots of the Rizzuto crime family can be traced back to the rugged lands of Cattolica Eraclea, Sicily, where Vito Rizzuto's journey began. Born on February 21, 1946, into the Rizzuto family, Vito would grow up to become one of the most notorious and influential mob bosses in Canadian history. In 1954, seeking a new life, the Rizzuto family embarked on a fateful journey across the Atlantic Ocean. They arrived in Montreal, Quebec, where they settled in a neighborhood teeming with Italian immigrants. Vito Rizzuto's father, Niccolo Rizzuto, played a pivotal role in shaping the family's criminal trajectory. In Canada, Niccolo connected with the Cattolica crime group, a formidable faction within the infamous Cosa Nostra. This affiliation laid the foundation for the Rizzuto family's future influence in the criminal underworld. Having grown up surrounded by the allure of organized crime, Vito Rizzuto seemed destined to follow in his father's footsteps. By the time he reached adulthood, Vito had embraced the allure of the underworld, ultimately finding his place within the Canadian Mafia. Throughout the 1970s, Rizzuto's influence steadily expanded, thanks in part to the drug trade. Operating alongside the powerful Bonanno crime family from New York, the Rizzuto family established a significant presence in Montreal's drug trafficking operations. Vito's charisma and strategic mind earned him respect and soon fear from his adversaries. The 1980s marked a turning point for the Rizzuto family. A war erupted between the Sicilian and Calabrian factions in Montreal, resulting in the assassination of Paolo Violi, a prominent Bonanno figure appointed as the boss of Montreal. Seizing the opportunity, Vito Rizzuto emerged as the city's top mobster, consolidating power and forging alliances with other mafia groups. With Vito Rizzuto at the helm, the Rizzuto family ventured into diverse criminal activities that cemented their reputation as Canada's most powerful crime syndicate. Operating with ruthless efficiency, they imported and distributed tons of heroin, cocaine, and hashish throughout the country. Under Vito guidance, the Rizzuto family reached the zenith of its power and influence, with an estimated 300 made members and thousands of associates under its command. Rizzuto was a master strategist, adept at navigating the complex web of criminal alliances. His ability to forge connections between Italian organized crime families, such as the Bonanno and Gambino families in the United States and the Sicilian Cosa Nostra in Italy, solidified the Rizzuto family's international influence. Throughout the 1990s and early 2000s, the Rizzuto family's involvement in the drug trade reached staggering proportions. Their drug empire spanned the entire country, with an estimated 80% of the cocaine entering Canada under their control. In one of the most significant drug busts in Canadian history, in October 1987, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, or CMP, seized a vessel carrying a staggering 16 tons of hashish off the coast of northeastern Newfoundland and Labrador. Vito Rizzuto, along with his loyal lieutenant Reynald Desjardins and 4 other accomplices, were arrested in connection with the operation. However, Rizzuto's cunning legal team secured his release on bail by March 1988, demonstrating the family's ability to operate with impunity. Illegal gambling became a lucrative enterprise for the Rizzuto family. They controlled a vast network of casinos, sports betting operations, and clandestine poker rooms. The family's ability to corrupt public officials and law enforcement allowed them to conduct their gambling operations with minimal interference. Despite Vito Rizzuto being regarded as a simple soldier by the FBI in relation to the Bonanno crime family in New York, his reputation in Canada told a different story. Canadian officials considered him the most powerful boss in the country, with unprecedented control over the criminal landscape. Throughout its reign, the Rizzuto family was embroiled in a series of high-profile assassinations and contract killings that left a trail of bloodshed across Canada. Their most notorious hit was the 1981 triple murder in New York, which shook the foundations of the American Mafia. The infamous hit took place on May 5, 1981, when 3 prominent Bonanno crime family capos, Alphonse Indelicato, Red Sonny, Dominic Trinchera, Big Trin, and Philip Chacon, Lucky Phil, were lured to a meeting under the pretext of discussing Mafia affairs. Unbeknownst to them, their own boss, Joseph Massino, had sanctioned their elimination to prevent a power grab within the family after the appointment of a new boss. Vito Rizzuto was one of 4 hitmen hired by Massino to carry out the killings. The audacious hit took place in a Brooklyn social club, where the unsuspecting capos were gunned down in cold blood. The brazen act of violence marked Vito Rizzuto's direct involvement in the inner workings of the Cosa Nostra in the United States and cemented his reputation as a formidable enforcer. As Vito Rizzuto's power and notoriety grew, so did the scrutiny of law enforcement agencies. In 2004, a federal grand jury in Brooklyn indicted Rizzuto on charges of racketeering, conspiracy, loan sharking, and his role in the 1981 triple murder. The indictment sent shockwaves through the criminal underworld and signaled the beginning of a tumultuous legal battle. Despite the gravity of the charges, Vito Rizzuto's legal team skillfully negotiated a plea deal to avoid a lengthy trial. In May 2007, Rizzuto pleaded guilty to the triple murder and received a surprisingly lenient sentence, just 10 years in prison, followed by 3 years of supervision. During Vito Rizzuto's incarceration in the United States, the Rizzuto family faced a storm of violence and retaliation from rival crime groups seeking to exploit their perceived vulnerability. A series of audacious attacks targeted the Rizzuto family, culminating in the murder of several key figures. In December 2009, tragedy struck the Rizzuto family when Vito's eldest son, Niccolo Rizzuto Jr., was assassinated in Montreal's Notre Dame de Grâce district. In May 2010, Vito Rizzuto's brother-in-law and consigliere, Paolo Renda, vanished without a trace from the streets of Montreal. Despite extensive investigations, Renda's fate remains a mystery to this day. The fate of Agostino Contrera, a close associate of the Rizzuto family, was equally grim. In June 2010, Contrera was executed in broad daylight on the streets of Montreal's St. Léonard district, adding another layer of violence to the escalating gang war. On December 23, 2013, Vito Rizzuto's life came to a mysterious end. The notorious mob boss succumbed to complications of lung cancer at a Montreal hospital. Despite his official cause of death being natural, speculations abound that he may have been poisoned, as an autopsy was never performed on his body. With Vito Rizzuto's death, the Rizzuto family's grip on power began to wane. Internal strife, combined with relentless law enforcement efforts, contributed to the family's gradual decline. A power vacuum emerged, leading to fierce battles among various factions vying for control of the lucrative Canadian underworld. Law enforcement agencies, determined to dismantle the Rizzuto family's criminal empire, intensified their efforts. In Operation Colossape, a joint operation between Canadian and Italian authorities, over 90 mobsters associated with the Rizzuto family were arrested in 2006. The operation dealt a significant blow to the organization, further destabilizing its structure. The Rizzuto family's reign of terror and power struggles have captured the imagination of writers, filmmakers, and journalists alike. Books such as Business or Blood, The Last War of the Mafia Boss Vito Rizzuto, by Antonio Nicasso and Peter Edwards, and the subsequent television series Bad Blood, have chronicled the family's rise and fall, immortalizing their legacy in popular culture. Despite their decline, the Rizzuto family's legacy endures within the Canadian underworld. As new crime groups vie for control, the void left by the Rizzuto family's decline serves as a reminder of their once unparalleled power. The story of the Rizzuto family stands as a cautionary tale of the consequences of unbridled ambition and the price of power within the dark realm of organized crime. Thank you for joining us on this adventure. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more captivating stories from the past. Until next time.